And I'll explain why the 8 parishes are important very soon here, because Rihanna is from the parish of St. Michael. And if you watched my previous little video playlist in regards to priests, I talked a lot about the parish center and parishes and some other things. So it's interesting that in Barbados they call their sections parishes, right? And that's how it all connects. I discovered some connections in regards to the angel Michael. Because of all this Gabriel stuff, I started thinking about the angel Michael, and then I saw St. Michael Parish and whatnot. And, of course, Barbados is also, their flag is also the trident, which reminds us of Neptune. And that's what I want to keep talking about before I go into the St. Michael stuff. But the flag in Barbados is the trident, and, of course, Neptune, he held the trident and whatnot. And I even made a video, so this Man Seeking Woman episode was called Horse, and somewhere along the lines, I either talked about this in a video or I made a video just about this, but I talked about the song Diamonds by Rihanna, and I mentioned that supposedly if you look it up, some scientists think that it actually rains diamonds on Neptune because of the methane or something. I can't remember exactly what the combination was, but they think that it actually might rain diamonds on Neptune. And then Rihanna has this song called Diamonds, and if you go watch the music video, it's pretty much all about bringing this horse back to life, right? So it's connected to horses, connected to diamonds. Once again, Rihanna has another connection to Neptune. And at the very end, she's even laying in the water, and it looks like she's being crucified. She's like laying in the water like she's on a cross and whatnot. And of course, Neptune, the god of the sea. Anyway, just the other night when I re-looked this song up, Diamonds, I noticed that it was released on September 27th, the Jesuit anniversary. I mean, pretty weird. All the stuff connected to the Jesuits, this one main song that I talked about in regards to her, comes out on that special day for the Jesuits. Rihanna even has Isis, the goddess Isis, tattooed underneath her boobs and whatnot. And, not long after that, Isis got really big. And I'm referring to ISIS, the supposed terrorist group and whatever. There was even an article about ISIS supposedly stealing 88 pounds of uranium or something like that. But anyway, I noticed that the article about Rihanna also said that because, let's be honest, a James dunk isn't rare, but seeing Rihanna put in work, and they quote work as a basketball fan, kind of is. And the reason they put work in there is, well, for one, she has a song called Work, but the word work in Gematria equals 22, just like basketball. Think about her birthday on 2/20, a lot like 22. She was there cheering for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and her song, Work, also features Drake, and Drake was a big piece to last year. I talked all about this back-to-back theme that was going on, which seemingly you would think it would be for the Warriors, but when you type out back-to-back, it equals 69, just like Cleveland Cavaliers. I also noted that if you write out 88 as words, it equals 69. The word pi also equals 69 in Gematria. And that's interesting because 88, eights are like the sideways infinity symbol, cycles and circles. They also let us know about Rihanna's dab at the game. And when they let us know this, the score was 74-96. So the Warriors were winning by 22 points. And I noted, the score was 74-96. The word Masonic equals 74. The word Freemason equals 96. Dab in the reverse Gematria also equals 74. She was there cheering on the team that had 74 points when she did the dab that equals 74. The total score at the time was 170 points. And the reason this is interesting is because Neptune was discovered 170 years ago. And if you write out 170, it equals 241 in reverse. And in Jewish gematria, I noticed that it equals 1776. And that sticks out to me because right now, we're currently in the 241st year of the United States. Think about it, 1776 and 241. Neptune was also discovered on 9/23, September 23rd, which is a special day in regards to the French Republic calendar, but it's also the big day that Pope Francis came to the United States in 2015, right before the final blood moon of the tetrad. And of course, Pope Francis, super connected to the NBA Finals stuff this year and also that year. He even went to the White House at 9/23 on 9/23. He came to America on his 923rd day as Pope. There was the Philadelphia train wreck that happened at 9/23. The Warriors originally from Philadelphia. Pope Francis finished his trip to the United States in Philadelphia. LeBron James was even in the movie Trainwreck later that summer. 66 days after that train wreck, LeBron equals 66. LeBron James in reverse gematria equals 66. And LeBron James in Jewish gematria equals 923. He's one of only 3 people that I know, and I've looked up lots of people that have 923 name gematria. The movie Trainwreck starts when Amy Schumer's character's 9 years old. The rest of the movie takes place 23 years later. Trainwreck equals 122. Pope Francis equals 122. Golden State equals 122. So, whatever, I pointed out that Neptune was discovered on 9/23, and that meant that Pope Francis went to the White House on the 169th anniversary of Neptune being discovered. And this number I was talking about it being significant in regards to Father's Day, and nothing that special really happened on Father's Day. I didn't really think that it would, but whatever I am being shown with these Catholic priest stuff, there's something in regards to fathers that's connected. I don't know what Father's Day, obviously Father's Day has something to do with it, and maybe I'll see it later down the road, but there's definitely something in regards to fathers that I was supposed to see. Somewhere in this blog, I even showed that for the last 3 or 4 years on my Facebook, I used to put a picture of the Catholic priest and I'd write Happy Father's Day every Father's Day. And then the one year I put the picture of the priest who supposedly, jokingly, inside joke that he molested me or whatever, and then he really did turn out to be a child molester and whatnot and got kicked out of the church. I used to always put that Happy Father's Day and put something in regards to priests on there. So I'm just supposed to see something with father. Moving on though, the guy who discovered Neptune was Johann Gottfried Galle, or however you say his name. His name in gematria equals 95. Neptune in gematria equals 95. He's the guy who discovered it. He also died 31 days after his birthday. Just pointing it out, June 9th to July 10th. 31 days. And he discovered Neptune because of Urbain Le Verrier's coordinates. And notice this guy is the one who discovered the coordinates of Neptune so the other guy could discover it. And he dies on September 23rd. The other guy discovers Neptune on September 23rd. This guy dies on the 31st anniversary of Neptune being discovered then. And remember, this guy died 31 days after his birthday. This guy, 31 years after Neptune discovered. Neptune in the reverse method equals 31. And this guy also died 32 years before this guy. And Neptune in the regular reduced equals 32. So there's all these interrelated connections between these guys. If you learn the reverse method along with the other one, it makes complete sense. I also pointed out that Game 1 of the NBA Finals was 114 days before 9/23, and LeBron James equals 114, and also, like I said, 9/23 in Jewish. And one of the big things in regards to last year with LeBron James was that he shot 9 of 23 on November 4th against either, I can't remember if it was the Knicks. I think it was against the Knicks. And then he shot 9 of 19 against Philadelphia just days later. And both of the numbers had a connection to Pope Francis coming to the United States. But LeBron James on 11-4 shot 9 of 23. And the year before, no Cleveland Cavaliers shot 9 of 23 the whole season, but Steph Curry and Klay Thompson did. And then last year, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James both did. And then this year, LeBron James did it again, and I didn't see that anybody else did it on the teams that were in the finals. But, you know, he did it on November 5th, and I don't know what the significance of that was, but they didn't end up winning. So it was a 2-year pattern. Who knows? Because nobody else shot 9 of 23. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. It was just a pattern that I had noticed and I had talked about. So anyway, then we got more on the story about Rihanna and how she was heckling Kevin Durant during a free throw and she was yelling brick and whatnot. Well, Kevin Durant in gematria equals 49, 58, and also 139. Just like Freemasonry equals 58, 139. The reason that she was yelling brick was because brick equals 38 in the reverse method. Rihanna equals 38. Remember, Durant ended the night with 38 points. And I have no doubt that a lot of what it had to do with Kevin Durant was that he was a former Oklahoma City Thunder player. And if you write out Oklahoma City Thunder, it equals 88. And remember, Rihanna's full name equals 88. And she was super connected to a lot of 88s, in 2014. Also, earlier in this video series, I talked about the number 35 a whole lot. And I noticed that Kevin Durant's birthday was exactly 35 weeks before Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Of course, number 35, his birthday 35 weeks before Game 1. We even got this story on a different website, and Rihanna on LeBron James after Game 1 loss. The king is still the king, bitch is what it's supposed to say. But if you write out what they highlighted, it equals 114, just like LeBron James. How interesting, because that's how they code these articles like that. So let's move on to some of the St. Michael stuff that I was talking about. So she was born in St. Michael Parish of Barbados. And like I said, I was just talking about the molesting priest, the parish center, and the parish center in my town even located on the address is 312. Can't remember what the rest is, but it's 312 is the number. And remember Rihanna, her birthday 3 months, 12 days before the Game 1 of the NBA Finals. But in regards to the parish of St. Michael, in my old stuff, I also talked about how alphabetically it's the 8th parish of Barbados, and it also had a population of 88,529. Just another 88. Rihanna born in 88. Her full name equals 88 in gematria. And I was thinking about all the angel Gabriel stuff that's been happening to me, and I saw St. Michael, and I thought, interesting, isn't that the angel Michael? And whatever, I looked it up, and that St. Michael is also the archangel Michael. And if you write that out in gematria and the reverse method, it equals 312. Once again, connecting to the things that I'm talking about. I also want to note that the word satanic in satanic gematria equals 312, I noticed. And a lot of the weird connections in regards to Gabriel, a lot of the things that I was talking about was all connected in satanic gematria. So I feel like in regards to a lot of this stuff, I need to pay attention to satanic gematria as well and see if that's showing me more of what I need to see other than some of these other forms or whatever. I also pointed out, though, St. Michael equals 51 and 114 in gematria. just the word Michael equals 51. And think about LeBron James being compared to Michael Jordan a lot before this.